fact of the matter is that if you flip it around and start taking that power back of what the things you can control in your life, and I think it comes down to being radically honest. Like, you got to get real with yourself and stop the bullshit. And that's scary to do, because the only one person that can ever do that for you is yourself. And you got to start relying on yourself, that you do have this inner strength. It's not going to come all at once, but step by step, you are going to see the results that you actually want to see, instead of giving the doctors the power, or even your coaches the power, or whoever it is.
Or thinking that they know, like that someone else knows. I absolutely agree. And I think that it's also that you're not saying that IVF is bad or wrong, but know when you go in. Like, I interviewed Mark Sklar a couple years ago, and he had spoken about, like, your IVF doctor they're there to give you IVF.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really there to support you in increasing your fertility, or like they are there to give you IVF. And I posted about this on TikTok, and I remember someone was like, yes, they do. It's like, well, giving you medication in order to, grow your eggs or increase your egg maturity, all of that is not changing your egg quality.
Yeah.
So like all these things, but you think the illusion or the story, the assumption is that all of that is happening.
Yeah.
And so I think even the lack of preparation when you're going into treatment, going, you need to go and you need to go now because you're going to be 40 in a couple of weeks, instead of going, hit the brakes, like prepare if you're good. There's such a more empowered way to step into it. And I just see time and time again, so much damage being done for women who are rushed into fertility treatments and then are on the other side going like, what just happened?
Yeah.
And now there's even more work that I have to do mentally, emotionally, physically, and energetically in order to heal from that.
My favorite line now, and I've been hearing it even since I got pregnant naturally, is that IVF taught your body what it needed to do. And I'm like, that's actually a really scary thought. That's like microchipping technology that you're talking about here, that they've injected something into you that like goes in and reprograms your system. I was like, this is craziness that we're even allowing this kind of conversation to go forward. And like, people believe it. And I'm like, medication goes into your body, and then over the course of like maybe a few hours to a few days, it leaves your body, and your body has to deal with that medication. So the healthier you are, the better you're able to receive that medication. But it fucking goes. Like, it does not stay.
And to even think that, like, to think of the other side of that piece is that, okay, well, what about all the women who went through so many IVF cycles and never got pregnant?
Right?
What is that doing to them? And I think I think it's trying to put a positive spin on something that's a really interesting idea, though.
Yeah.
Like,
it's $1 billion industry
over and growing significantly by the day. And so I think that that's another thing that so many women don't understand is like, when you step into that doctor's office, and this is like, I don't like to, go super dark to the doctor's offices, but like when you go in there, to know that like you are part of the industry, and that your mental and emotional care for most women. I mean, if someone has an office that is really high care, which seems to be less and less these days, but most of them, it's like, even the care that they're being given is subpar.
Yeah.
And damaging.